The tradition of lantern floating ceremony. Once upon a time, early in the glorious time, there were two white crows, male and female, having their nest built in a tree growing on the seaside, and 5 eggs were laid in there. One day there happened to be stormy rains blowing the nest and the egg into the current. In the evening, the crow couple returned from their search for food, only to discover that the nest and the egg had gone. The broken stuff which messed up the place suggested that the damage was caused by a storm. The two white crows, however, remained hopeful. They kept thinking about what might happen. They then cried bitter tears over the disappearance of the eggs until their death. The 2 birds were reincarnated as the Indra in paradise. Meanwhile, the 5 eggs which dropped into the water and drifted away ended up in the hand of chicken, dragon king, tortoise, cow, and tiger, with each picking up one to look after at their respective dwelling. The hatching day arrived, and there emerged human boys out of the shells. Seeing this miracle, the animals which took care of the eggs were eager to bring up and attend to the kids. When growing up, each of the quintuplets said to himself, "I am human, and why my parents are animals?" He then tried to find out way of leaving his foster parents in search of learning magic skills and making merits so as to enter the state of Buddha. Their animal caretakers had the same request. "My dear, I'm going to enter the state of Buddha, and when you make it, just have my name attached to yours. That is why during our time we've seen 5 Buddhas: Kokandho chicken, cow, Nahamano dragon, Kasapo tortoise, Gautama cow, and Saraya Maitreya tiger, which achieved the enlightenment according to their fraternal order and virtues. May they then had the name of their 5 animal caretakers initialed with their as requested. Leaving their respective parents, the 5 young men met at a place. They learned that all had the same wish and reason, so they decided to accept each other as sibling forever. One day, while the 5 were exploring who were actually their parents, the Indra and his wife turned themselves into male and female white crows and pierced in a tree maybe. They convinced the 5 young men that they were their actual parents. The 5 guys knelt down to respect their parents and expressed their regret for being unable to stay with and take care of their parents, who did not agree to let the 5 kids come along. They just advised that whenever the young men thought of and missed them and wished to make an offering to the couple, what they could do was to mark a cross on every of the offering and dedicate to them. This act would then convey all the merits to the 2. After this message, the duo then vanished. The 5 men remembered all the advice, setting out to learn magic skills and enter monkhood in the wood, and at every donation and commemoration ceremony they never forgot to mark a cross on the offering, which was let drifting down the river in dedication to the male and female white crows, and this has since become a traditional practice. Some local residents argued that the lantern floating ceremony was celebrated to dedicate to the footprint and the canine tooth of Buddha, which were left at the Naga's world. In other words, while the layman claimed that the ceremony was dedicated to either Buddha's footprint, Buddha's canine tooth, the male and female white crows, or Kola Mono Chedi, the celebration is all the same while serving Buddhism's purposes. Their narratives are much similar and to some extent slightly contradicted. Meanwhile, the manuals of Radanak Sankras Kaak Sak Puthvang do not recommend this or that ceremony, and based on the story, the elderly people have constantly revised the version until the activity has become a tradition until now.
The end.